Thank you so much. Our top story this morning, we could get yet another view of that disturbing shooting involving a South Carolina police officer.
Investigators are expected to release dash cam video of the incident, and NBC's Tracy Potts has more on the man who recorded the shooting on his smartphone.
I thought about his position.
Here's what Phaedon Santana says he saw before he started recording.
He had control, of Scott, and Scott was trying just to get away from the taser, which the taser, you can hear the sound of the taser.
He had been tased at that point.
Yeah.
His video led to a murder charge against Officer Michael Slager. He's been fired. Police can't explain what he picked up, then dropped by Walter Scott's body, or why the police report says officers performed first aid and CPR when the video doesn't show that.
There are questions that I have in my mind that I can't answer right now.
Dying on our feet on southern trees.
100 people protested last night.
This is not an isolated incident.
Young black men, unarmed, are being hunted down like deer.
That's exactly how Walter Scott's mother felt when she saw this.
He's my child. I saw him running like you would kill an animal, and I couldn't watch it anymore.
Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Well, we're getting more details right now into how the mayor of North Charleston ordered 150 more body cameras for their police department in the wake of this shooting. That adds to the 101 cameras already purchased. There has been a push across the nation, as you probably know, to get more police cameras with body cameras, police officers with body cameras. One local lawyer, in fact, tells WMBF News the cameras can give the best account of the situation and that the shooting death of Walter Scott just proves why body cameras are needed.
Is critical. As you've heard recently in the news, there's been a requirement for some officers to wear body cameras. Doing criminal offense for as long as I have, as long as you have a videotape, there's no question as to what occurred.
Meanwhile, the family of Walter Scott plans to file a major civil lawsuit. Moncton says with the video, the family could file a wrongful death action lawsuit against Michael Slager and the North Charleston Police Department.
In response to the rioting and violence that's taken place in Ferguson, Missouri, Coastal Carolina University's percussion ensemble had plans on the books to take a stand against violence. Then the officer-involved shooting in North Charleston brought the violence much closer to home. Those taking part in the Hands Up performance will use the latest tragedy in tonight's event.
This is something that happens over and over again. So hopefully the audience will leave with the sense that, this is real. Like, this is something that's actually happened today in society.
That show starts at 7:30 tonight in the Wheelwright Auditorium. We are just hours away now from the first pitch getting tossed out at Myrtle Beach Pelicans ballpark. Tonight, the team will take on the Wilmington Blue Rocks at 7 o'clock. This morning, Jenna DeAngelis is live for us at the stadium. She's finding out this season already on track to be a grand slam, right?
That's right, David. If you're thinking of grabbing tickets and heading to the ballpark, you're not alone, because based off of ticket sales already, it looks like the Pelicans are off to another record-breaking year.
Trending a little bit ahead of where we were last year. Last year was the best year in the 16-year history of the franchise.
That's thanks to the 250,000 fans that showed their support. Milovich says last year, 63,000 people from Horry and Georgetown counties alone came to the ballpark at least once. Once the summer hits, that's when the out-of-state ticket sales really boom. He says the Pelicans see a lot of tourists from the Northeast, but the #1 out-of-state ticket drivers are visitors from North Carolina. The team is hoping the new affiliation with the Cubs will attract even more people from the Midwest. There is a method to how the Pelicans are targeting game goers. In the past 2 years, he says they've made a push to sell tickets online. This allows them to see who's coming, where they're coming from, and what they're doing when they come to the ballpark. A big pull to the games, especially for us locals, is the charitable efforts like the Strikeout Cancer Series.
And what we've seen is our local attendees have grown by 26% as a result. So not only is it the right thing to do and an important thing to do, but it's been good for business as well, which is great.
Since 2012, the Pelicans supported more than 300 charities. Just last year alone, they raised more than $465 $100,000, and they're hoping to play it forward a little more this year. Reporting live in Myrtle Beach, Jenna DeAngelis, WMBF News.
Another good corporate citizen right there. Thank you for that, Jenna. New this morning, a routine traffic stop lands a handful of teenagers behind bars when officers find several empty beer cans. Mandy Knoll live in the newsroom with that story.
That's right, David. 12 empty beer cans to be exact, and that's only what they found on the passenger floorboard. The group of 4 18-year-olds and 1 20-year-old were driving around Myrtle Beach around 2 a.m. yesterday downtown. Police pulled the car over because it was missing a headlight. Officers noticed the empty beer cans in the front. They rounded them all out of the car, and in all they also found 4 unopened beers, 3 flasks. Most of them identified themselves as students to police. All of them have been arrested for underage possession. You can look at their charges and their mugshots on WMBFnews.com right now. Theo?
Right, sounds like a lot of spring break partying. Well, more details for you this morning in the Georgetown shooting that happened on Tuesday. Police are now searching for Dennis Cumby Jr. He's been named as a murder suspect and is considered to be armed and dangerous. The victim has been identified as Torrey Thomas. Anyone with information should notify the police.